Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out.
Castillo got robbed.
Max Kellerman isn't hedging. He isn't dancing around the issue. Known for his razor-sharp boxing mind, Kellerman didn't just offer a new take. He went straight at one of the sport's most recognizable figures. And in doing so, he may have lit a fuse that's now splitting the boxing world in half, forcing fans to rethink what they thought they knew about greatness, legacy, and the truth behind the myths.
Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles? Me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said, Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't fail. He said, oh man, you fake. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest, Floyd.
He's been vocal and brutally direct about his mission to tear down the legacy of Floyd Mayweather. In Kellerman's eyes, the era has shifted. There's a new, undefeated king, and he's not afraid to say it out loud.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster, and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. Cotto, an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age. My point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best two names you can pull up? I'm just saying, Floyd never fought nobody that was hubby's equal.
It began with whispers, dangerous ones, because when Floyd Mayweather's name is involved, even silence feels loud. Retired or not, his presence still controls the conversation.
Floyd provided everyone unrealistic expectations. You could win every fight, basically never get hit, and make all the money. it's not going to work like that for the most part for everybody, you know? It literally only went that way for one guy.
I love Floyd, but it seems like everybody's afraid to have that O, to have a 1 or a 2 where the O used to be. Ali follows.
When debates over the current pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford, hit a boiling point, Mayweather's camp couldn't stay silent. The comments weren't official challenges, just calculated reminders. Subtle shots meant to reassert who they believe still owns the throne. But this time, the usual Mayweather playbook backfired. Because Max Kellerman heard the noise and fired back with a ferocity no one expected.
Floyd was fighting everyone right up until the point where he started to make money. But as much credit as you get for making, the primacy of business, for making business your priority, well, that comes with trade-offs. Because when you make business decisions constantly, sometimes your athletic achievements won't be regarded in the same way as if you made athletic achievements your priority. That said, Mayweather has accomplished a tremendous amount athletically. But the 3 fighters he didn't fight, Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, when he was obliterated fighting De La Hoya, Hatton, and Cotto. And Shane Mosley when he still had something left. And while he will wind up fighting Pacquiao and Mosley, it'll both be, at the right time for Floyd. That said, what about at the right time for Floyd? He's also ancient. A fighter approaching 40, fighting at the level Mayweather is fighting, is unheard of. Mayweather, until recent times, would be considered one of the greatest older fighters. That would be the whole story. Oh my God, can you believe how old Mayweather is? It's a little bit unfair to Floyd. Say, well, you're picking these guys at the right time. Floyd is old.
This wasn't the calm, historical breakdown fans expected from Max Kellerman. This was raw, unfiltered, and it was about to shake boxing to its core. The first bombshell dropped when Kellerman went straight at the comparison between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. Instead of praising Floyd's perfect record, he threw down a challenge that stunned the room. Kellerman argued that Terence "Bud" Crawford, through his relentless pursuit of the toughest challenges, has already built a more meaningful and more compelling legacy than Mayweather. He framed it as a clash of philosophies that on one side was Crawford, a fighter willing to chase danger, move through divisions, and test himself against elite competition without hesitation, that on the other was Mayweather, particularly post-lightweight, a master strategist not only inside the ring, but outside of it. Kellerman described Floyd as a fighter who meticulously curated his resume, carefully timing matchups, often waiting until opponents were just past their absolute peak before stepping in.
The Pacquiao you're describing, who knocked out Ricky Hatton, who YouTubed Ricky Hatton, turned YouTube into a verb, what he did to Ricky Hatton, and then destroyed Cotto, and before that, and then just the way he beat De La Hoya even before that,
Well, De La Hoya was old, though.
Sure, but Mayweather fought those guys basically at the same point in their career that Pacquiao did, before them. Okay. And the reason that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was hyped up to the extent that it was, is that, boy, Mayweather's this all-time great, and Pacquiao is doing these guys even worse than Floyd is doing them. Everyone wanted to see that fight. That Pacquiao's been gone for a long time. So why don't fighters retire when they should?
He didn't just imply it, but he said it outright. But when he turned to Terence Crawford, everything changed. Kellerman's tone shifted from criticism to pure reverence. He spoke of Bud as a throwback warrior, cut from a different cloth, a fighter who doesn't maneuver around danger, but runs toward it. Someone who wants the hardest fights in any division at any time. According to Kellerman, Crawford wants all the smoke all the time. No protecting a record. No waiting games. Just legacy-defining risks and the confidence to back it up.
I put 5. That's right.
Wow. That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn.
You the boss.
I love it. That's a heel turn.
I love it. You got 5.
Now, here's the thing. Roy at his peak. Just remember this. If Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time. I agree. Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao's second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters. And more than that, put Floyd at his best in with anyone through history. You do not know who wins. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao. It's true. Floyd is one of the top 10 greatest pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived. Tough to argue otherwise. But pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter,
he's rapping again.
Junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. Yeah. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody.
Mayweather, no disrespect at all to him. He's one of my favorite fighters growing up. Love watching him fight. Perhaps the greatest boxing business person of all time. Yeah. Look at actual boxers in the business. But I don't want to see many fighters come out of retirement. He's done everything he can do. He's one of the best fighters of all time. Stay retired.
He pointed straight to the evidence that Crawford's demolition of Errol Spence Jr. and his masterful victory over Canelo Alvarez were, in Kellerman's eyes, undeniable proof. Proof that true greatness isn't built by avoiding danger, but by running toward it. That willingness to face anyone, anytime, wasn't just impressive to him. It was the essence of legacy. And that's where the comparison turned explosive. Kellerman argued that this exact trait was missing from Mayweather's later career. Not skill, not intelligence, but risk. He suggested Floyd perfected the art of control, timing opponents, managing threats, protecting the undefeated record, while Crawford embraced uncertainty and chased the toughest fights available. That statement alone would have been enough to start a war. But Kellerman wasn't finished, that he was just getting started.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also, it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That wasn't the back of the head. And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insanity.
Kellerman's feud with Mayweather isn't just casual commentary. It's history, grudges, and a prediction that never came true until now, in his eyes. Years before the Manny-Pacquiao super fight, Kellerman boldly declared that Floyd's near-perfect defense was about to fail. He predicted that age, accumulated wear, and the toll of a grueling career would finally catch up, that the untouchable would be touched, and his perfect record would collapse, that IT didn't happen. Floyd adapted. He survived. He even thrived. Every fight that disproved Kellerman's warnings made Mayweather's legacy shinier. And the ghost of that failed prediction lingered over Kellerman's own now. When Kellerman elevates Terence Crawford and questions Floyd's later career, it's more than analysis. It's personal redemption. He isn't just comparing two fighters. He's rewriting a narrative that once humiliated him in public, staking a claim that greatness isn't only perfection, but courage, risk, and facing every challenge head-on.
Who would your top five be?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Number one?
Yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There are so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though, as little as he is, man?
Oh, that dude. It's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from a southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
He wasn't just predicting a loss. He was forecasting a complete and utter collapse. Of course, that collapse never came. Mayweather went on to dominate Pacquiao and retire undefeated, leaving Kellerman's bold prediction as a running joke among fans, a constant reminder of his supposed bias against Money Mayweather. But this history adds a critical layer to today's debate. Is Kellerman's push to elevate Crawford's legacy purely objective? Or is it the final move in a decade-long chess match, a calculated attempt to retroactively win an old argument by redefining greatness itself? As the boxing world reeled from his Crawford take, Kellerman broadened his sights, going after the most sacred cow in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's pound-for-pound status. On a recent ESPN ranking that placed Mayweather at number 1 for this century, Kellerman was blunt. He declared that pound for pound, Floyd can't even be placed above Manny Pacquiao. His reasoning? Pacquiao's journey from flyweight champion to welterweight titan, defeating elite opponents across multiple divisions and never ducking a single challenge, is a historically monumental feat. Mayweather's meticulously managed career, he argued, simply cannot match that level of risk, ambition, and conquest.
Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight. Pacquiao won lineal titles, indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. No one ever did that. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever. Do any of us believe that if they were the same size naturally, Floyd would beat Pacquiao? You really think that?
And Kellerman wasn't alone in this controversial stance. Current boxing star Ryan Garcia publicly backed his claim, stating that he has always ranked Manny Pacquiao above Floyd Mayweather, adding even more fire to an already heated debate over who truly deserves the pound-for-pound crown.
Pacquiao's my favorite, and you are right.
Yeah.
But he did beat Pacquiao, and nobody has changed the game like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight,
he changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had to break that, right, with Tank.
Like, that's one of my idols. Like, I really look up to Pacquiao. Like, people don't know, but like, he's one of the people I look at. I'm like, man, like, this guy is everything I would want to be, as a career, as a fighter, because he did everything, like, with such grace, and he did, put up spectacular fights, helped out his community. I'm trying to do things similar like that, but me, I'm more of I want to give back to, like the younger generation. I want to help them with like an
ありがとうございました。それでは2人の決勝戦ですね。スーパースター軍、マリン・パッキャオ選手、何々がした。
I could really say something negative. I could really say something positive. But when it's all said and done, and we all approach situations in a different way. Rather Tank was to win or he was to be on the other side and take a loss, I would have stood right there behind him, 100%. And it's no different from you guys seeing a lot of times Tank vent out on social media, but I'm right there. He's young. So if I'm with you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've always spoke about loyalty.